Okay, so Scamule Leads has made a video responding to me called The Scammer Tankz Exposed. It's 2 weeks old now. I've watched the whole thing and it's just he ignores everything. He skips over the important parts of my video. He just plays the parts where he can be like, oh, gotcha. Like, let's look at this part, all right?
Testing because you've had no success doing it.
Where is it?
You're not qualified to talk about my training programs because you've never attended. You're not qualified. Now, I get it, you put a lot of content out.
Don't try, this is what they got to do. They got to try and belittle you, try and say, see, he's not qualified. No, I have brains, right? I studied, I graduated, bro. I've never been poor since over the age of 18. You mislead people. You sell people a dream that they can easily get into property investing like it's so easy. Because you say anything about it, it's like, oh, you're not qualified. See, all you got to do is do this, do that. No, bruv. Do I ever discredit this guy's knowledge? No, I don't. I say that he is misleading people by selling them a dream. One of my closest friend's younger brothers a few years back was misled into paying $3 grand for this guy's course or something like that, whatever he was offering at the time. I think $3 grand. Apparently he offered a refund period. He tried to get his refund and Samuel only refunded him half. So many people have got into contact with me. People have undercover footage at this guy's seminars showing the predatory practices that he engages in. I'm going to paraphrase exactly what he said on his first interview with Austin, and big up Austin. We're going to get into more of this because me and Austin behind the scenes, we laugh at this guy, bro. Like we just use him for Austin just uses him for content. I don't, because before Austin did his second interview of him where he completely embarrasses this guy, exposes him for the idiot he is. This guy's not that smart. Austin asked me if I wanted to roll through. And I said, Austin, I don't see how that benefits me, bro. I don't want to debate this guy. There's nothing to debate. You're not going to convince me that this guy preying on university students or people fresh out of university, getting them to borrow money from their parents, getting soldiers to kill themselves. He doesn't address that. Doesn't address the fact that a soldier killed himself after buying his course because the soldier was promised that he was going to get rich. He doesn't address that. Doesn't address his response to it. Instead of saying, I'm so sorry that the soldier passed away after buying my course. No. The guy says, there's no evidence of my course had anything to do with it. What that says a lot about the type of person you are, Samuel, all right? Scamule. That's what we're going to call you. But Austin just uses this guy for content. That's that Austin's managed to grow his TikTok, grow his Instagram just by using this guy for content. But Austin made Scamule Leads crash out. He made him crash out. You know, we'll take a look at this. Look.
Austin, you're an embarrassment to business people. You're an embarrassment to men. You're an embarrassment to black people. And you really, really need to consider reading some more books and stop being so offended, you little snowflake.
Apparently,
a man said he is an embarrassment to black people. And what's concerning is this guy has mixed race children. Tankz, why is that concerning? Well, I have, you know, a few mixed race people in my family, all right? And they're all fucked up, okay? Anyone else who has mixed race people in their family, and when I say mixed race, I'm talking white and black mixed, they're fucked up. You know, no offense to any mixed race people watching this video. Every single mixed race person in my family is fucked up to some degree. And that's because they're confused a lot of the time. And it's difficult for them to navigate through life. I think mixed race people have the hardest time, you know, navigating through life, because where the hell do they fit in? To white people, you're always going to look black, but they're never fully accepted into either the white side or the black side. You know what I mean? It's hard for them. That's why I feel for my family. Like I'm telling you, mixed race people in my family who are 40, bruv, they're still fucked. They still don't know what the fuck they're doing, bro. It's peak. And I'm going to show you guys some of the things that Samuel says that concerns me. Like, this is me talking to you, Samuel, you know, as a black man. In order to give your mixed race kids the best chance, bro, you need to stop being ignorant and actually learn and open your mind. Because look at this.
if I see a black pilot, I will question if he's qualified.
Yes.
That sounds quite racist to me.
What he said was not racist in the slightest when you see the context.
Okay, so what's the context?
The context is that in America, the airlines had 15% of their pilots were either women or black or people of colour.
Yep.
And they said, well, we need to raise that to 50%. We need 50% of our pilots to either be women or people. And his response was, well, surely we should just have the best person for the job. It's completely irrelevant what their race is. If we have to have X many black pilots or 50% of women and people of colour, suddenly I'm going to see a black pilot and I'm going to be like, oh, were they hired because they're a good pilot, or were they hired just because they're... So that was the context.
Why do you think, though, that by them saying we're going to hire more black pilots?
Yeah. You know what Austin says? Austin tells me, bro, he couldn't believe how stupid this guy is. He said he couldn't believe how unknowledgeable he is about politics, bro. Because an airline saying we want 50% to be women or people of colour. Women, Slice, that's 50% of the population, right? What's wrong with that? You think women are underqualified? Do you think women can't be pilots? Why do you automatically assume when it's people of color and women that it's going to be underqualified? Did they say anything about lowering standards for them? No. From his position, you know, if he's just a normal white man, you know, I don't expect him to understand. You know what I mean? But this is a white man with mixed race kids, bro. And he doesn't understand that growing up, when your kids grow up, yeah, them getting onto a plane and seeing a black pilot, that might make them decide, hey, I want to be a pilot when I grow up. If a little girl goes on a plane and she sees, you know, this is the programming. The more you see people who look like you, or if women see women in planes, you know, flying planes, that might encourage them to grow up and believe that they can do it. Women used to be blocked from these positions. People of color used to be blocked from these positions. It's only recent modern times where we're seeing diversity in positions like this, you know? But anyway.
They're going to hire like, where's correlation? Where's the correlation between hiring black pilots and hiring underqualified pilots? Because surely the correlation should be, we're going to hire more black pilots that are qualified. How do you feel as though, because you want to push to hire more black pilots, that automatically means they're not going through the same qualification checks that he would if they're from any other race? If I see a black pilot...
Yep, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And there's more, hold on, here we go.
Black award shows, I think it's dumb. A black business award show, it's almost like you can't get an award, a proper one, but don't worry, we'll do a black version. What? And I've seen some of the guys, I know.
Again, this guy has mixed race children, bro. This is concerning. Take the time to educate yourself, Samuel, you know, because your arrogance, your ignorance is really showing here, bro. It's really showing. It's really showing. I didn't show
I know
him.
what she's talking about. That are winning awards, a black award, and I'm like...
Would you know to say names?
All right, I'll say names. There's a guy called Anthony Lavelle.
Okay.
Who entered a show, which was a black award show, and he ended up winning an award.
Do you know what it was called?
I think it was called the Black Business Awards or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and he won an award.
Why do you think that's wrong?
I don't think it's wrong. I just think...
Why do you think it's dumb?
Because the guy's super successful. The guy's a multi-millionaire.
And what he fails to understand, people who look like us, people who come from where we come from, bro, for him to be a multi-millionaire, do you understand how low the chances are? Do you understand how astronomically low the chances are? Even me in my position right now in this studio, coming from the shooting capital of London, where I was raised, where I was born and raised, bro. Me being in the position I'm in now, the chances are very, very low. But you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't understand. But for your kid's sake, you need to understand this, bro.
He don't need... It's almost like... It would make sense if normal award shows... were never giving awards to black people.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know what? We're going to do our own
Well, yeah, that's exactly why they started, you idiot.
award show. But that ain't the case. Anthony Lavelle's super successful, man.
I agree. I know him. I know he's a vendor. He's a vendor,
He
man.
can get any award he wants.
Yeah, for sure.
He can apply for the property award show.
There's certain obstacles that are put in place that black people have. And them winning an award that's for everybody is more difficult.
It's not though.
Wait, let me land this,
Yes, it is.
Samuel.
Yeah, go on.
You have no you don't understand. You don't just shut up, yep, and be educated, all right? You aren't qualified to speak on this. You are not qualified, Samuel. You're not. Sit back and listen.
Fair enough.
Not because they are not talented, but because of systemic racial barriers that are in their place. So when it comes to let's just use the obvious one, right? Very simple one. If you are from a community now, and in that award process, they don't have diversity in their team. Say the team's all white people. They might not even be aware of the work that's going on in certain communities. They might not even have that awareness. So that's already a barrier where, let's be honest, a lot of these award ceremonies are run by white people. So they might not have the awareness or the understanding to even credit certain people because they're not even aware of them. So you could be doing amazing work, and it happens all the time. You're doing amazing work as a black individual, and you're not getting noticed. It happens in football. Is how many Asian footballers are in the Premier League?
But you say you love Martin Luther King. His vision was, he said...
Again, he's just trying to win the argument. He's not listening. And this is dangerous. All you had to say there was, fair point. Why are you bringing up Martin Luther King for? I'm concerned. I'm very concerned hearing this.
Little black boys, little white boys together. He was anti-segregation.
Yeah.
So I think combating racism is being anti-segregation. And these things like black award shows, I don't have a massive problem with them. I think they're a bit dumb. And I also think it's segregating as well. It's like, let's bring our own together. And that's how I see it.
I'm not going to let you do that, Samuel. Just discarded my point completely. I made an argument that you literally just absolutely... I think your problem is, Samuel, you oversimplify things way too much. That's what your problem is. I made an argument as to why people that are from certain...
And people who oversimplify things, they do that because they're just trying to win an argument, you know? That's why when he comes with the language or debate, Bruv, as you tried to say to me, you tried to say you are not qualified to talk about my property. You are not qualified to talk about this. If we use your same logic, Samuel, you're not even trying to listen to understand. You're just trying to win a debate. And this guy's jumped onto the right-wing grift. He was on TV with Nigel Farage because he sees it as a way to peddle more courses because he doesn't even have a clue what he's talking about.
Backgrounds might not have the awareness on what they're doing. What is your response to that?
My response is, so do you think the answer is segregation?
Why do you look at highlighting people from some backgrounds that are getting overlooked as segregation? It's the opposite. It's highlighting them.
Black award shows.
What an idiot. You guys thought this was bad. There's more, bro. And that's why this guy got so angry and said, Austin, you're an embarrassment to black people, because the clips make him look like the Dumbo he is.
So
yeah,
B2B.
It's not this one, but he says the margins that he makes on his property course selling business is 5%. How does that make any sense? Because he just repackages information. Hold on.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If a 17-year-old kid, 17, with no money, from a broken home, who'd flunked out of school, who's got no savings, and is not particularly smart. 17-year-old kid turned up in a cheap suit that he just bought from Mazda, which he'd put on his overdraft credit card, and his parents dropped him off at the event, and then he said, I want to sign up, and I want to pay thousands of pounds. Do you think that it would be unethical to take his money?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, that kid was me, and my mentor took my money. And if my mentor had said, you're vulnerable, won't take your money. No. I wouldn't be where I am.
Interesting point. And I think that's how I used to think about life as well. Because I know someone like me and you, we're hustlers, right? And we can make it through certain things. And obviously you're where you are today, but you've probably been through hell and back to get there.
Yeah.
The issue is some people don't survive that hill. And not everyone's you, Samuel. Do you know? And I think that 17-year-old kid, that it could end up the other end of the stick where they could end up in a very, very dark place.
Could, man.
And I don't want to say the word, but do you know what I mean? So I think that's where that comes into it. And even though you said that they took the money, would it have been harmful if you said, look, like it's too risky right now, you wait a year, save up some more funds and then charge them? That's the point I'm trying to make. Just so you don't end up like the other guy that could have been the 70-year-old you that ends up on a whole other end of the stick.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, it's just nonsense, bro. One comment puts it good. It says, at its core, it's the clash of the ideologies. The odds of a vulnerable 17-year-old buying a course and ending up rich and successful are slim to none. And my argument is, if that 17-year-old somehow has £12,000, they're better putting it into use and investing in themselves or using it as leverage to buy their property. Most people buying properties, because the laws are getting so tough on landlords, as he said on his interview with Nigel Farage, Samuel said, oh, look, properties are this, I'm just selling my houses to big banks, or big this. You couldn't answer the question, bro. Most people will buy their house just to live in it, bro. I've never once said this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I've just said that 12 grand that you're going to spend on his course or mentorship, as he calls it, you're better off using that as leverage to get into the property game, bro. But anyway, who am I, fam? Who am I? Let's take a look at his response video, man. A few points there, because he lies a little bit in this video.
I was greeted by this: wait, free webinar if you are serious about building wealth.
And he spends in this like 5 times in the video, he makes fun saying webinar. Cool, whatever. I messed up on the word. Okay.
Didn't just say that, bro. Did you just say my boy Poku Banks, known as Poku Facts?
He's been spitting nothing but facts on his
Yeah, Poku Banks, at the time of that debate, Poku was like 19, 18. You're 30, bro. You were 30. And he brags about owning a 19-year-old when he's 30. Bro, you're pathetic. What are we doing here?
Oh, and he thinks Poku Banks is fantastic and he wears a mask. Do I even continue watching the video at this point? I'm going to continue, but I'm almost at the end of my...
Yeah, don't act like, all this performative for the camera. I made a video saying why I think buying property in the UK is a scam, and I made a video about Usman Lina. He commented under both of those videos in like April, May, like earlier on in the year. And I messaged him, I said, yo, do you want to come to my studio and we'll talk? Because you said I'm wrong in some things in his comment. He said I'm wrong. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I like your videos. I don't think people should buy your course instead of using that money on themselves. I think everything that you teach is available on the internet, and there are infinite better ways to spend 12 grand. So he said he'd be down for that. I spoke to his assistant. His assistant was moving along, and I just couldn't be bothered. He sent me more messages saying like, oh, we can do kind of a you confronting me type thing, or you confront me. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to do that. I just want to have a conversation. Like, I want to get some game. I'm not here to try and build no hype, bro. I want you to tell me where I'm wrong about what I said about these things about property. That's all I want. I don't care to go viral and stuff. No, bro. That's always been the thing. What does he
Just
say?
decided you didn't want to do it because your opinions are so ridiculous and you knew that you would be utterly torn apart and destroyed if we sat down in the same room together, and I would make you take off your stupid mask.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy, pal. Relax, all right? You gotta give it to Samuel, though. He is internet ready, bro. He's very good at playing the villain, but you're not that guy, pal.
To have discussions, and I would have been totally down for that, but he didn't respond. He just did a video instead. But okay.
No, it was months before. Your assistant was moving along, and I just thought, what's the point? Ban this. Then you ended up doing more confrontation videos. You ended up seeing Austin around a similar time. I'm just like, bro, there's nothing really to talk about with this guy, bro, you know? Because you're clearly full of it.
I'd like to think he's matured and grown up, but he got completely annihilated, and that was like half a decade ago.
You're 30, bro. He's 19.
I'm sure he's very, very...
Skips over the Poku Banks video, bruv. The reason I show that Poku Banks video is because there's one question that Poku Banks asks that you still have not answered. How many properties do you own? How many properties do you own? We've not got a straight answer. That's where you start that's where you start going a little bit, oh, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? But
very knowledgeable on the property game. When I watch his videos, bro, like he's someone who knows his stuff about property.
Is this like a love letter, or
he's trying to be like, oh, what's my biggest fan? Bro, no one ever said you don't know things about property. The facts are, all the info is available online if you want to go and look at it. All I say is if you have £12,000, don't use it on this guy's property course. Use it on something else or use it as leverage to get your first property. He goes on Nigel Farage's thing and he skips that, where he's talking about how hard it is to be a landlord trying to make money in the property game. That's what he talks about. That's what he says. But yet he'll sell it to you as it's some easy way you'll be financially free in 5 years if you buy his course. He's a scam artist, bro. He sells people a dream. He misleads people into thinking it's a way to easy financial freedom. It's a tale as old as time. I'll teach you how to be financially free. I'll teach you how to be financially free. Meanwhile, he lives in Dubai. His business is registered in Dubai, so he doesn't pay any tax on his money that he makes from these courses. He says that his property selling business has a 5% profit margin, which is complete cobblers. It's a joke.
when a hit piece, at this point I can't work out, because I don't actually know what his beef is exactly, but now he's saying, I love Samuel's content. He's clearly made loads of money. His videos are fantastic. So I'm a little bit confused. Maybe he was trying to get my attention. Oh my goodness, I just fell for the trap. I've given him my attention. He's a fan. He's a fanboy and I gave him my attention. I should...
Brother, you're 30. What are you doing?
The fact that you're saying, oh, you know, it's stupid. Oh, Dubai, ha, ha, ha. Oh, you can't. Oh, you're broke. You can't make money if you've got no money. It's just damaging, bro. It's negative.
No, bruv. No, bruv. No. You're not gonna flip it. See what he's good though. Samuel's internet ready. No. If you have 12 grand and instead of using that 12 grand to get on the property ladder, you use it to buy this guy's property course and you have nothing, I don't think that is a good decision. I'm not saying this guy doesn't know what he's talking about in property. I'm saying do not buy his course. That's what I'm saying. In my opinion, don't buy his course.
It's damaging. I'm not really about what you're saying at all. Actually, I think it's sad.
So you, with no bread, is
Look at the music as well. Anyway, let's see.
gonna go to a homeowner and say,
Yes.
hey, listen, your house is worth 400k. In 7 years' time, I'll give you 500k. Let's ignore the fact that this person could have gone to an estate agent and found someone to rent it for that much themselves. But you're making £3,600 a year. You're a long way away from having $500,000. Maybe you'll be able to get a mortgage to buy the property in the future, but there's no guarantees. On your end of the deal, you don't have to buy the property.
Thing is, if you're laughing at this and you're saying, like, oh, ha, ha, you can't make money in property, you can't buy below market.
Oi, why do you ignore what I say though? You're the property expert here. You could have just said I'm talking complete nonsense there. No, I'm explaining what you're trying to say is easy. I'm showing people what can go wrong. Because yes, you need to take risks, but you need to take risks if it makes sense, Samuel. All right? But he knows this, or does he know this, or is he an idiot? I don't know. Is he stupid? I think he is. But then I realize, I don't know. I think he's getting desperate. I think he's getting desperate to peddle these courses because he will just go back and forth and debate anyone, bro. Like,
Value, and then you must just think that all business is impossible. You can't set up a clothing brand. Who's going to want to do business with you? You can't start your own.
a clothing, brother. Do I even need to explain? This is with these idiots, bro. You can start a clothing brand with £1,000. In order to buy a property, you need at least, what, 5% down? What's the average property prices in your area? You need 5% of that. You can start a clothing brand with like £1,000. Instead of buying your property course, you can use that 12 grand to start a successful clothing brand. That's more than enough. But hey.
Coffee shop, you can't become a... What?
Coffee shops, restaurants. The margins on restaurants are very, very low. I'm not just gonna, like, You don't just sell people a dream that it's going to be easy. Making money is not easy, no matter what route you take. And it's important people understand the challenges that they're going to face if they choose to go down a route. The way you sell property, you sell it like it's some easy thing, like you make money on every single deal. Are you going to tell me you haven't had deals where you've lost money? But if that's my last 12 grand I'm paying you to go on your property course with, if that's my last 12 grand, I can't afford to lose money on this deal. But you're not going to tell people that, are you? No.
Are you just saying that just business is hard, if you've got no money, you might as well just accept it, be a victim, take no responsibility?
Why do you use the word victim there? Why do you use the word victim? Is it because, is it a color thing? Why do you use the word victim? That's an interesting choice of words. Interesting, especially considering what we just saw him, with the clips we just saw of him. Why do you use the word victim? It's a very interesting choice of words.
I'm not vibing with the message, man. In fact, this is the kind of guy who, if I grew up and went to school with someone like him, he'd be the kind of guy I would distance myself with. I wouldn't be able.
Again, you don't know me, Samuel, all right? Let me tell you something. Everybody I grew up with gets encouragement from me. I'm the one to encourage people to take the risk. I'm the one to say, leave your job and try this if you really enjoy this, or go get. I'm the one to tell people to do that. You don't know me, bro. However, this is about your course. This is not about taking a risk or anything like. It's about giving you 12 grand for a property course. Stop trying to move the goalpost, bro.
To spend. The Bible says that bad company corrupts good character.
Oh, shut the fuck up. We praise God though, man. Big up God, but don't quote the Bible on me. Shut up, man. You are misleading people, bro.
It is good for if times are bad and everyone's scared, that's when the deals are there. So,
brother, let me tell you something. Where times are bad and times are hard, you need to make better decisions. You might not want to be tied down to the UK. You might want the flexibility to leave or fuck off to Dubai like he's done. But if you get a mortgage on a property in this country, you are stuck. You're gonna be stuck in your job. Need to remember, bro, most people, they're gonna be in jobs because you have to fund this, right? You're gonna be in a job. You might have to put up with more shit in your job because you have your mortgage to pay every month. You're not gonna be as flexible, and as times get harder, you might get laid off and the bank might take your house back. These are risks. These are things that you need to consider. And the guy tries to paint me this way for pointing out valid concerns, but he doesn't address the valid concerns.
As interest rates go down, then more people can afford to get more.
It's going to keep going up? I do think so for the near future, but I think most of it's going to be because of inflation. Obviously in London where I live, there's demand. People always want to come and live here. But as AI grows, people are going to lose their jobs. There's going to be less and less jobs available. People are like, you get what I'm saying?
First time he's actually been talking sense. So he does have this is actually worrying because clearly he does understand economics a bit and he does understand inflation and he understands. So if he's not stupid, then the whole rest of the video that he's been saying makes me think he must know that what he's saying isn't true. So now I'm questioning the agenda behind it.
I think less and less.
Oh, again, he's got to lean into the right wing grift. Oh, they're after me. After he interviewed Andrew Tate. No, they're after me. The Matrix is trying to attack me.
People are going to be able to actually buy properties, and they're all going to get bought up by BlackRock. All these, when he did that interview with Nigel Farage, he was talking facts. How all these big corporations are going to buy up all the properties. That's what they want to do. But I studied economics and finance at uni, Brian. It's just
okay. So he kind of does know a bit. I still think I have a feeling he's poor, but he understands the academic side to what I'm talking about.
I'm poor. Okay.
At least.
Realize
when you come from where I come from, that's something you want people to think. So we'll just leave it as that.
Economists will say this, economists will say that, bro. It's just a guess. The economy is based on human behavior. Nobody can predict human behavior. Well, nobody can certainly predict human behavior.
That's true.
Why being an economist is just, making the best predictions you can.
It's made me want to sit down with him now, actually. I was thinking, this guy, but now if he's studied economics and stuff, interesting.
Nobody's always going to get it right. So he could be right. He could be spitting facts, but I don't think he is.
This will go up. Also,
I am.
are buying properties. Their aim is to have 50,000 residential buy-to-let properties in the UK.
No way!
The rich and powerful are buying up the houses.
Bro, when I'm saying this, the BlackRock are buying, and you're just going, oh, wow. It reminds me of Noah's Ark when he...
Stop quoting the Bible on me, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. Shut up.
People like you and I.
You live in Dubai, bro. If you want to quote the Bible, bro, go move to the Vatican, bro. Stop it, man.
Have got
but Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. But stop doing that, bro.
to buy properties.
That's the problem, I think. Some people, they're so skeptical, they throw their brains out. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my God, I have to.
Yeah, that's sad. Tankz! You're poor. You are poor.
Stop paying rent. They stopped paying their rent. And I'm telling you guys this from experience. I have a property with my dad. It's nothing crazy. I've had it with him for like 4 years now.
Oh, so you're an economics uni boy and daddy helped you buy a house and you bought a house. How's it going?
No, Samuel boy. All right, now we're going to call him Scamuel boy. All right, I went halves with my dad. You know, I was young. I was getting good money. My dad, who I appreciate, he said, you need to start putting aside. You need to do this. He started putting my money into other things that I am grateful he made me do from that age. Because when you're 18, seeing the money that I was seeing, bro, it's just going to come as fast as it goes, you know? But my parents didn't give me a thing from when I turned 16. When I turned 16 years old, my parents didn't give me a thing. I got nothing off of them, all right? I didn't ask them for anything. I've flown them out. I've taken care of them. I've paid them back.
How's it going? How did your uni degree help you to be super smart and efficient and make that property turn into something when your dad put money down? Let's find out.
I was young doing my thing. My dad said, yo, let's make something so cool. I said, cool, Dad, I trust you. Yeah?
I wish my dad gave me money. I wish he'd given me money.
My dad didn't give me money, bro. My dad didn't give me money, but bottom line is, guys, right? I'll just explain it. Went halves on there with my dad. We've got some tenants in there. We've been behind on the rent. We didn't want to evict them because it's a family. You know, they're struggling. Like, it's fine. We can eat the losses. It's not a big problem. It's a couple bills a month losses. You know what I mean? Like, we're not like the greedy landlords, bro. We're not in it to, you know, we're not in it for greeds. But at the same time, you do want to make money. But you know what I mean? I hear him. But at the end, he says, oh, you know, you could buy my course and then I'll teach you how to save that, bro. He's just salesman capper. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I only made a response to this guy because people were asking me to. He's a clown. Don't buy his course, guys. I mean, he's getting desperate now, I think. Chung Lee, what do you think? Chung Lee says this guy is absolutely pathetic. Yeah, I'm more concerned for his kids. Like, that's what he needs to focus on there, bro, honestly. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love to every single one of you guys watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Peace.